6 minutes gone past 9 a.m. And of course, you're tuned into Dial of Champions 92.3 Switch FM campus radio of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning. And of course, it's the 6th day in the month of May 2025. Really interesting headlines we saw all through the papers. And like I always advise you, try as much as possible to get for yourself at least one copy of any of these papers at any point in the day. That way you get to know details of happenings in and around that darling country, Nigeria. And I mentioned earlier as well that this morning would be having big wigs in the building, and I can assure you there really are big wigs in the building this beautiful morning. I have with me a delegation of the Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered, with me here in the studio. And in fact, we have, if you say the first citizen of that particular institute, we have in fact him in the studio this morning. I'm talking about the national president of the institute in person of Commodore Abimbola O. Ayuba. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
It's honestly a pleasure to have you in the studios of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Switch FM this morning. And one of the first things that comes to mind is this your first time in Minna?
Not at all. Coming from my military background, I've visited Minna a couple of times. Training and doctrine command of the military is here, and so other activities. Some very top retired military generals are here, and I've had occasions to come into this beautiful city of Minna. But there's been a break of about 5 years.
Yeah, I was going to ask the last time you were here.
A lot of development around, and I think the future looks very bright.
Oh, thank you very much, sir, for that. But what about the Gidankwano campus? Have you been here before?
It's my first time.
Aha! So now you have a first time. How was the journey down here, sir?
Smooth. Smooth, I'll say.
All right.
See a lot of construction work going on, but
all right. I guess Commodore himself can see things going down. So let's get down to the crux of why we are here today. I do understand that the Nigerian Institute for Management, Chartered, do have a summit, but the first thing that comes to mind when you say the Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered, I know some people will be wondering. Okay, could you give us like an overview of the institute in itself?
Thank you very much. The Nigerian Institute of Management was established in 1961, and it's primarily we are well over 62 to 63 years right now, and we are charged by the Act of Establishment to regulate the practice of management in Nigeria in all its ramifications. Take note of that word, the expression, in all its ramifications. So that places on us the responsibility to monitor and ensure that management practitioners are up to the top level of the cutting edge of the profession. Now, as you are aware, there is no profession on earth, if I may say, that does not have an appendage of management behind it. Be it health, be it airspace, be it education, finance, you will always have management following it. So something like financial management, health management, schools management, airspace management, and so on and so forth. So you find out that management is key in everything we do, because it continues to monitor the changes in the global environment and ensures that those who will lead organizations, both private and public, are also learning and unlearning and relearning, so that they are well equipped to drive organizational successes in their various establishments. This is quite important for us. And another point is that the Nigerian School of Management is a multidisciplinary professional body, unlike most other professional bodies that specifically deal with their own finite details. Law, for instance, engineering, for architecture. We have within our membership all professionals, whether medical, engineering, finance. So it puts us at advantage that we are able to create that synergy that is crucial for us to ensure that we are we maintain our leading position in the committee of professional bodies in Nigeria, and that we are fixed to achieve, and that's one reason why we have set out to do this particular program we are here for in MENA. We selected MENA because it's an emerging or re-emerging state that has bold targets and programs, and we are beginning to see signs of huge transformation. So we felt that from the North Central Zone, like you see, I'm here with the Zonal chairman, some directors from the headquarters, the local organizing committee chairman is with me here. We see Niger State, specifically MENA, as a place where we could sit down and look at this new theme that we have selected for ourselves for this year's presidential visit and Zonal summit. Thank you.
All right, sir. That's not just an overview. I would say that's a full pack of what NIM does. And I also want to follow up to that. You did mention of you did make mention of the fact that the institute in itself is there to oversee as well as also mold. So how would you say from inception? You also mentioned that the institute in itself has been established for as far back as the 1960s. How effective would you say the job of the institute has been so far? Even before your time as president, and now that you're there, and with some of the things that you're seeing right now and going forward.
Well, like I said, the institute was established in 1961. I'm the 25th president of the institute. We have earlier on had a very series of industry icons and giants that have driven the institute, both from the private sector, coming from the first president, Chief Abebe, who of blessed memory. We have people like Dr. Molayole, people like Dr. Christopher Kolade, who was also an industry giant and also a broadcasting guru. He was in Voice of Nigeria.
Yeah.
And we have people down the line who have also had experiences that have been passed on from generation to generation. And as you know, that management is an evolving practice, and that so as the baton is passed on, we have a very strict chain of succession planning, and we ensure that transfer of leadership and control is almost seamless, and that has given us the edge. You hardly hear of rancor coming out of our programs for elections and over these years. Now, being the 25th president, I am operating within the space of change, especially technological changes, and as it impacts on management of human capital and also material resources, and that we now need to begin to look at what we need to do as technological changes begin to impact on the workplace, and also how do we respond to that. And these are issues that we intend to look at. Technically, like every organization, we have been evolving, and we also review from time to time, conduct peer review. We also look at what goes on among other professional bodies. We do a lot of peer review within that space. And also, what we try to also do is to mainstream ideas and expertises. We do a lot of consultancies. We also do a lot of research, collaborations with academic institutions, research institutions, and we also have a lot of a good gamut of experts that speak into various aspects of human endeavor. But where the common ground now is where tech has kicked in and has impacted on everybody, every aspect of human development. So how do we respond to it? How do we ensure that the managers, especially the young managers who are actually more techy than the Trojans that are like me, how we begin to mainstream them into the system, encourage them to play their own role in management, so that the future of work and management will also be more seamless than it is today. And this is why we consider the team that we have selected for our summit, the future of work, embracing digital transformation in the Nigerian workspace, as key, so that we come together. As you know, the North Central Zone, like FNIM, operates almost the same structure as a political structure, just for administrative convenience. That we have all the states in the North Central Zone are here for this particular summit, and then we rub minds and come out with critical findings and communicate it to ourselves and the public, general public, to government, and those who will find outcomes quite important. And that includes the academic world, the student community, those who are engaging in research and other things. We are open to young persons. We also have student programs in our institute where we encourage student members. We also do, this year, for instance, we are having a young manager summit where we intend to bring the youth together so that they can look at the future of management holistically within their own space, so that the outcomes of what they bring will be something they can own, and then based on the outcomes, they can now begin to drive that change with our own support. And this is what we are looking at. So it's good to be here on Search FM. That's 2.3. I think.
Thank you. In fact, I would almost say you've answered all of my questions in one, because the very next question I had in mind was to talk about the theme rather, and see how the theme is going to become a workable solution to problems that we have right now in the country. So I would just skip into the next one that says, how then do you think digital transformation will shape the future of work in Nigeria?
Oh, well, the idea behind technology is to reduce, to increase efficiency, first of all, and reduce cost of doing business, and also to ensure that you increase the quality of outputs from work. And therefore, when you look at these thematic issues that are laid down, and you begin to want to see where you can lay the template of this over, for instance, the public service. What is the attitude, work ethics? What how can digital transformation impact on work ethics, for instance? Because when technology is available to do a job that 10 people, for instance, were doing, and technology can take care of that without probably having anyone in physical space. So it means that one, it may impact directly on labor, employment, physical employment, and then it will also demand the change in skill sets, and that people will need to have 2, 3, 4 skills to remain relevant in today's work environment. And so robotics are kicking in to do a lot of work, and you also humanoids and other tech that have kicked in with the internet space is huge. We are even talking about the Internet of Things. And so most, even when you talk about security, most gates are remotely operated. So you will not really need a megadi that will be running up and down, pushing the gates open, and then of course if you are if you want to access some digital workspace, and if you don't have the clearances, you may not be able to access. Sometimes you may not go past the reception because the lift we will admit you because you don't have the card to drive the lift to wherever floor you want to be. So in terms of my fear is that a lot of people may lose their job, but certainly will lose their job. So how do we keep them engaged? Do we, even in farming, the technology is being brought into farming, and now also there's a fine tech that you don't really need the hoe and the cutlass to do farming anymore. So what happens to all these vast people that will be literally rendered jobless or inefficient? How does society accommodate them? How do you retrain them to be more relevant? How do you train them to be more creative, to adapt the new tech so that they can also be relevant?
Okay, permit me to break it short there. Is that a role that the Institute of Management or that management professionals are looking to take on right now? On, I mean, you just, mentioned your concern as regards how a lot of people will most likely be rendered jobless as regards to technology with the influx of new technologies, more technologies, and more accurate technology even. And you also made mention of the fact that we're looking at these people now. What happens to them? So I'm asking if that is a role, the role of knowing what to do with these people. Is that a role that management professionals are looking to take now in the country?
This is one of the reasons why we're here, to rub minds. And we are already bringing experts to come in to stimulate the discourse. They present 2 lead papers during the summit. I have a panel discussion. We have also also doing so, even extending to a town hall meeting. And the institute is charged, like I said, with regulating the practice of management in all its ramifications. So it means that we also have to connect to the new realities, which we are doing right now, the future of work, the impact of technology on management. So throughout this year, in all our programs, we have been looking at various segments of tech and see how will tech affect the youth, how will the youth, what role will they be playing in the future of tech in management. You know, because one thing is that machines won't manage themselves. They will still need supervisors. And they will also, we want to be looking at how do we regulate the usage of robotics, the usage of machines. All these are key to some of the things we need to be talking about, because the legal issues are there. Do you allow machines to actually take over the world, and why human beings become slaves to machines? What's the future of the boardroom? Because I've seen trials being held where humanoids are brought to sit in a board meeting, physical board meetings. The only thing that was left was that they were not programmed to take decisions. They were only programmed to contribute. So if in a board of 20, you start having 10 robots, how do you relate with one another, for instance? And if there is dispute, how will robots react to human provocation, for instance? So will robots be allowed to go ahead and maybe turn to Frankensteins, in quote, where they go out of control? And so there are a lot of things that we want to, but what we want to do, we don't want to be caught flat-footed as an institute of management. We want to keep monitoring the trend, talking about them, coming out with dependable solutions that will help to shape policies that will guide the future of management practice in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. And well, of course, we don't want to forget the attendees of the summit. And one question that usually is in the hearts of attendees is, what are some of the things that you hope that attendees rather would take away from this summit?
Yes, the reality, thank you very much for that beautiful question. The participants are expected to come out knowing the current realities, the challenges that new tech will be bringing on, how they will also be required to respond to change as it is. And of course, we can domicile that in the domain of change management, which is key to organizations. Like if you look at the public service, the performance management system has gone away from the manual system. It's gone digital. So those who are used to using pen and on paper, we have to acquire new skills or how to operate the systems, the software that are being brought in to drive the same process. So at the end of this summit, we want to have managers that are better equipped to deal with the realities of change, the impact of tech, and also to be able to manage the organization with a better understanding of what the future holds as technology becomes more sophisticated and, if I might dare say, complicated.
Actually, so I know that you are a busy man. Today is going to be a busy day for you as well, and I wouldn't want to hold you here for very long. But then, before I let you go, one other thing. Now, you've talked about what people should expect, what attendees should expect. I'm also going to ask, what are some of your own expectations from this summit? What are some of the impacts that you hope that after the summit we would be seeing?
Thank you very much. As we have chosen the theme and the specific topics, I personally am optimistic that the outcomes of the summit is going to provide for us a framework for policy changes, developing new policy, and also driving policy changes, advisories to government, private sector, and also providing new rules, guidelines on how to manage better the management space, working in tandem with new tech. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much, Commodore Abimbola O. Ayuba, retired, the president of the Nigerian Institute of Management, chartered, fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Management, as well as a fellow of Defense College. But before we wrap this up, there was something you made mention of that I thought to turn to the North Central Zone Chairman, Malam Ibrahim Aminu Anas. The president did talk about young people, a summit that's coming up for young people as well. And we know that we are in a country where we have more young people than we have other demographics when it comes to age. So I want to know, what are some of the requirements for young people to be a part of NIM?
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for this question. Let me start by saying, if you read the newspapers, the headlines these days, you can see we are faced with the issue of drug addiction, and this has to be as a result of non-orientation of youth. So the best way we can start getting rid of some of those problems is to start by catching them young, bringing them together. Let them start seeing or knowing the effects or the side effect, the problem they're actually getting themselves into. And these are some of the challenges that we have that brings in insecurity, the school dropout, health challenges, and economic challenge that we have in the society. So one of the aim of this summit is to bring the youth together, let them focus how better they can be, manage themselves, manage those around them in times of the new technological development that we are talking. So we need to bring them together as youths and take them off those areas that we feel that might be endanger their lives as professional managers. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. Well, once again, thank you so very much, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired. You want to say something?
Yeah, just to thank you very much for having us and commend you for driving this beautiful Search FM 92.3.
Thank you very much, sir.
Memorable visit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We definitely will hold that for a while. I want to also say a big thank you to Malam Ibrahim Aminu Anas, who is the North Central Zone Chairman of NIM, as well as the Chairman, Local Organizing Committee for this summit with the theme, The Future of Works, Embracing Digital Transformation in Nigerian Workspace, in person of Dr. Christopher Obet Igwe. I do hope I pronounced that correctly, though. Once again, we want to say thank you. Remember, the summit is going down today. I also wanted to ask for the time of the summit. Is it 10 a.m.? You say? Tomorrow by 10 a.m. All right. The summit is coming down tomorrow, the 7th by 10 a.m. That's Wednesday, 7th by 10 a.m. at the Halima Royal Event Center right here in Minna. So if you were supposed to be there, I can assure you that you do not want to miss out of that particular event. Once again, thank you so much, Commodore. Thank you so much, Chairman, as well as the Chairman LOC. You have a great day or days here in Minna and a great event as well. We wish you all of the best from all of us right here at Search FM. All right, you have a great day. Thank you.